You're listening to the Moody Mommies podcast.
Audio warning. You may or may not hear kids screaming and yelling in the background, or us screaming or yelling at them to keep it together.
It's the Moody Mommies.
The movies back in action. Our first episode with Mrs. Escobar.
McAvenue Escobar.
Escobar.
Escobar. I know.
How does Ernie feel about you making a collaboration out of your original last name?
I don't think he cared. He didn't care to begin with if I was even going to change it or not.
Are you going to change it?
Well, I just on my paperwork just added his name on. So no hyphen or anything, just one more extra name to my name. So
smart.
Is it?
We'll
see. We'll see how the paperwork
I dropped mine for this guy, so
I know. You dropped your middle name and you pushed everything forward.
Yeah, I did. So let's chat about this. Let's chat about your big day, the Moody Matrimony, as we like to call it.
Hashtag Moody Matrimony.
Hashtag.
I know. We were just like, I can't believe how long we were planning it. And even still, like, I feel like I did the most minimal planning possible.
You did. It was like, I don't even want to say simple. Well, I guess we could call it simple, but in the best way, you know? Like, it was very just straight to the point.
Like, it was like never a headache for me. Even at the worst, I know we talked a little bit about my dress wasn't ready. I literally got my dress 2 days before the wedding. And closest call ever.
But I'm really glad that worked out, and like I went with you and made you walk in that dress because
it would have been too long.
Yeah, you would have been tripping on it all night long. It would have got on your nerves. So
it was so heavy.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy. I was carrying that bag, and I'm like, ooh, poor Jessica. She has to wear this baby.
And it was like 106.
Oh my goodness. It was the hottest day ever.
It was the hottest day of the year. And I was looking forward to, because I don't like getting in the water unless it's above 100 degrees, right? Like,
I'm the same.
If it's like 92, I'm like, it's not hot enough. I don't need to swim.
The pool water is still really cold to me.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I need to be sweating to want to get in the water to cool down. And the next day, it was overcast. Like, it wasn't even a hot day, so I didn't want to get in the water. Plus, I was very hungover, and I didn't want to even live my life.
All right, let's take this back, though. Let's talk about our whole day for the big day. Yeah, we started what? You got engaged, like,
the end of December.
End of December. So we started planning like January, and before we knew it, July 7th was here.
I know.
I seriously can't believe how fast it flew by.
I know. Like, and I'm sure if you listen to us regularly, you might notice my voice sounds a little different, and that's because I lost it the day before the wedding. The day before the wedding, some old little hag had to get you upset, and I could not regulate on her. Oh my god. So I have like stress-induced voice loss, and it's still barely making its way back, and it's been a week and a half now. So basically what happened was we show up the day before for rehearsal and to set up before the wedding, because obviously the day of, we're not going to have time for that. There's no way. And we got such a good deal on the venue, basically because we had to do most of the stuff ourselves. But like, they had no staff for us. Basically, they had a security guard and a bartender, and that was it. So as far as, you know, passing out food or passing out drinks, all that stuff we
set
had to
do, everything.
And they ended up helping set up because they're kind of all over the place.
Better for us.
Yeah, but originally they said we were gonna have to set up, which is why we went early. And I got married on a private property, and one of the ladies that lives on the residence just gave us like major attitude.
Dude, first of all, we showed up at like, we told them we were going to be there at 3. We got there at 3:30, and we're like calling and texting, ringing the bell like outrageously, and no one's answering it. So I think that's totally what rubbed her the wrong way, is because she probably heard that bell and was just being a major B and didn't want to come and answer the door.
And somebody else let us in, and she's just like, ugh.
Yeah, she was upset because we got in there without her letting us in. So she was just serving you like the worst attitude ever. Like, and you know me, I'm like, somebody pops off at you because you're really calm, you know, and I'm your crazy. So you know, she started serving you all this attitude, and you of course approached her super nice, super friendly, and she was just like straight like like from the minute she opened her mouth. And I was just like, whoa.
And she's just out there in her robe watering the lawn
with a basketball cap, like the most awkward attire ever, but whatever. And so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna ignore that, you know. And then the second time you talked to her, it was even worse. And like, I was just standing behind you, like chewing on my tongue so hard, because like any other time you're so nice, you know. And so any other time that people have gotten crazy with you, I'm always just like, excuse me, like behind you, just like ready to attack them, you know. So I was so upset because I was just like, this lady has our bread and butter right now. Like, I cannot pop off at her in any kind of way because I'm your maid of honor. Like, I cannot be told like, well, you know what? You're not coming back inside of here because I'll have to kill this woman and bury her under her house.
For real.
So I just was like chewing on my tongue so hard because she was just being so mean to you in front of my face, and you're no bridezilla in any kind of way. So it was just so upsetting that she was talking to you like that, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was so upset.
I mean, I'm glad you didn't, because like, who knows what would have happened. Like you're saying, like, what if they're just like, you know what, the party's canceled tomorrow, or you know what, you can have your event here, but that girl cannot be here, you know. So I was just like, I can't even say anything right now. Yeah, she was just asking like a grip of questions, and I'm
stuff that wasn't her business.
I'm on the phone with the owner of the venue because she just lives on the property. Like, she doesn't own it. She's not supposed to deal with any of the event stuff. I was just doing everything I could to not, you know, I mean, I'm hardly ever rude to anyone, so I was just kind of like, okay, you know, I don't know what is going on with this lady and like why is she treating me like this. So I'm on the phone with the owner, like trying to get a hold of her. She's not picking up because when she finally called me back, she said she was in the shower and didn't hear her phone. But I was just like, no, like, need to get down here because this lady is asking me all this stuff. We're like, can we pull in the car so we could at least take off the drinks and everything out? And she's just giving us a hard time. Like, how many cases of soda and how many this and how many that? And it's just like, look, like, it's none of your business. Like, it really isn't. Like, this party has nothing to do with you. And I think she tried to like explain to me like I had no idea you guys were coming, and I was just like, well, you know, look, regardless. And she's just like, oh, it's irregardless, not regardless, or whatever I don't know, I might have it backwards, but whatever word I said, she corrected me in my sentence, in my speech, and I was like holding my eyes closed, like, I can't talk to this woman, like I can't talk to her. And we were like, okay, you know what, since none of the rentals are here yet, because you're not answering the door even, like, how do you know if the rentals came or not if you're not even coming to the freaking door? We're gonna go get something to eat and we'll come back. So we go to the entrance, and we don't know that it is always locked.
We were locked in there, trapped, and she just let us walk away from her, not even telling us
and like didn't even come behind us. Like, she's still there watering, talking to the other tenant, and we have to freaking go back to her and be like,
can you let us out? I'm feeling dumb as hell,
dude,
after we just got into it with her.
Yeah, it was so annoying. And then the other lady let us out, the same lady who let us in, and was like, when you come back, just hold down the doorbell until she comes to get it. So we do that, and the lady's pissed off that we're holding down the door. And it's just like, dude, you guys are too much.
They're not communicating well over there at all.
I know. So then when you and I are in the car, I'm like venting about everything, and by the time we're back at the venue, like, my throat's all like,
yeah,
Ursula stole my voice. And
totally.
It was crazy.
I know. I wanted to kill her because I was just like, no, she needs her voice. Like, don't do this to her today.
I know.
Like, if it was a week before, okay, you would have had time to recover. But it was the day before your wedding, like hours before your wedding at this point.
I know. And like everything up until this point had been like a
so
breeze.
Chill. So chill.
Breeze. Like, you know, I was never like, oh, I can't find what I want. It was just like, well, it's not here. That's fine. We'll figure something else out. And it was all super simple. Like, everybody helped out so much. Like, we had the best man let us use like the tablecloths and everything. My friend got the photo booth for us. My father-in-law got the food. My mom paid for the cake. Like, everybody really helped out so much. And like, not only that, you know, like, my brother paid for the videographer. Everybody that worked on this wedding is like close to the family, you know. Like, there wasn't any vendors other than the venue people that we didn't have like a personal relationship with,
right?
So it was just like everybody helped us out so much financially, you know. So it was so good. But the day was the freaking hottest day of the year. I know we said that already. And another thing that I'm glad that we did is that I didn't have an early wedding. Like, thinking about the time that we had to get up to start getting ready. Well, we woke up at 7, a little after 7. Like, brides are getting up at 3 in the morning.
I know, our day was like pretty chill. Like, we woke up, we had breakfast.
We went to Sam's Club.
Bought more water, got some cupcakes.
Dude, those cupcakes
came back. They melted.
They did?
Yeah, they totally did.
They were gone right away.
I know. You know, so we came home. I jumped in the shower. We got ready. Went and got our hair done. Came back from that. Had a little lunch, right? Oh, you made me a corn dog that I didn't eat.
I made you a corn dog that you gave away to your kids.
And don't kill me, but I didn't even eat at your wedding.
Oh my god,
dude! I made myself a plate, and then it was time for when I finally got a plate. It was time for our grand entrances, and then we did that. Then we did our speeches and everything, and then when I came back to the table, somebody threw my plate away, and the taco man was gone. So I was like starving the whole night.
No,
I know, it's all right. When am I not starving?
Right.
Clearly,
not starving. That was crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, getting our hair done was really chill. We came home and our makeup artist came to my house and they did our makeup here. So it wasn't like we had to drive somewhere from super far to get our makeup done and then come back, get dressed, load the car, do all this crazy stuff. So
and
it was
literally lived 10 minutes from the venue, which made it so easy. Like, if you forgot anything, we could come back so easy.
Yeah, and luckily we didn't. We were pretty on top of everything.
I think your parents came back to change or something, but like, that was it.
Yep. My mom came to change her shoes like a diva. But yeah, I mean, we came back, we got our makeup done, the photographers showed up, took some photos while we were getting ready.
Yeah, and like, you sent me a list from Pinterest, like, make sure to get all these shots on your wedding day, and like, I didn't even look back on it, and the photographer kept asking me, you know, like, what kind of shots do you want to get? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm just so like that. Like, I just need to be told, like, where I need to be and what to do. Yeah, like, I don't want to think about it on my own because I don't want to be that bridezilla. Like, no,
you
this
weren't
needed
just
to be this and that needs to be
any
that.
kind of way. Like, I love you because Jessica told me, look, this is what I'm telling you right now. The day of the wedding, if you guys need to put something somewhere and you don't know where, don't ask me anything. Like, you put it wherever you want it to go. Don't come and ask me, and I'm not gonna be upset. Like, that's not where I wanted that. Oh my gosh, it looks dumb. Like, so I was just like, what? So I'm planning my wedding? All right. Like, cool. This is where, you know, and it was so easy because you weren't so picky about it, and I'm probably gonna be a bridezilla.
No,
I'm just kidding.
You won't be.
No, because I like, you know, I have like a vision for everything, so I'm always more like particular, like, I want this here,
as
that
long
here.
as when you do it, you let me know your vision and I can make notes and be like, this is what she wants, because the day of, like, I don't want you to worry about it because there's so many things that happen that would have probably ruined the day for me, but guess what, I did not have to deal with any of it because you and Anna took care of everything.
But I mean, there wasn't even a lot to take care of, you know what I mean? Like, your guest, everyone was there was, you know, you had games in the yard for people to keep themselves busy. We had our, you know, the flower crowns for people to, you know, sit there and make and keep themselves entertained.
Yeah, but like, for example, like the taco guy, the food was super late. He ended up late. He fed everybody on time, which is what matters. You know, he was on schedule, but he was supposed to show up 2 hours before to set up. So luckily, like, it worked itself out. But I know my planner was like, the taco guy's not answering my calls. So if that was me, if I had to plan the wedding myself and worry about where's the taco guy,
and
then I would have been stressed.
Yeah.
Like I would have had to be on the phone and doing this and that. Like I didn't have my phone the whole day.
I know. Super major shout out to Anna. Like she killed it the day of the wedding because she made my life a breeze as well, because if she wasn't there, then I would have been like, Dad, you need to get your friend on the phone, because he was the taco man. Like, you need to get him on the phone. We're freaking out. Like, he's supposed to be here at this time and he's not. Like, I would have been like so stressed out, wondering like, is this guy not gonna show up and we're gonna have like 175 hungry people here, you know? But luckily she was there and she just handled it, you know?
Everything.
She really did. Like, it was such an easy day because she was just like, I got it. You know, I got it.
If you live in the Los Angeles area or the San Fernando Valley, you guys have to find Anna Lilia Events, because she is a freaking queen.
She is. She really is. She was worth every penny you spent on her.
And she wasn't even like, she was so reasonable. I don't know if it's because she knows me personally or not, but like, it was like so reasonable that I was able to give her like a really big tip and everything.
Yeah, I would definitely say if you are planning a big, you know, event, any kind of event.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a wedding. Anything.
Anything. A quinceañera, anything. It's just always helpful. Yeah, I would say if you want to make your day just a breeze and have someone to be on top of a timeline of, you know, because it's the best way to keep your guests, like, you know, all the things that you have to get out of the way so that you could just spend the rest of your night dancing the night away. Like, you know, it's like you don't want to be stopping like every so often to, oh, now we're gonna cut the cake, oh, now we're gonna do this, oh, now we're gonna do that. And when you don't have someone to coordinate all of those things, you know, you're gonna get frazzled. You have guests coming up to you asking you, you know, just different things that are gonna keep you away from your schedule. So if you have someone there that is a paid professional to just, hey, I'm not here to have fun, I'm just here to keep everything in order, you know? It just makes your day so much easier.
And like, it's like, you know, instead of getting the extra tool or runner for your damn tables, you know, like, don't spend the money on that. Like, spend the money on having somebody take care of you.
Like, you didn't have like these fancy smancy, like all this stuff on your table, and you put your money somewhere else, and you had such a great wedding because of that. Yeah,
I did. Of course, you know, because there's things that I bought that, you know, maybe not everybody would remember. Like, for example, it was so hot, I bought a bunch of fans last minute, and like half of them didn't get passed out. So I still have like a grip of leftover fans, and like I bought some balloons that like didn't get used, but it's like, it's stuff that like nobody notices, but like I know, like, oh, this never came out.
Like, and it was just money down the drain.
Yeah, and it's like, I would return it, but I have no idea what even happened to this stuff. You know, it's like, it's missing. Oh well, like, what can I do? Well, they're just like balloons and stuff, but it's just like, man.
Yeah.
The day was like pretty good, like. But I think because it was such a hot day, everybody left super early, which sucked.
That did suck. I was a little disappointed, especially in your friends, because even though I get it, like all the aunts and grandmas and everybody, you know, but I swear even they left later than your friends, like some of them. And I was expecting them to just be on the dance floor all night long.
Me too. I was a little bummed that not everybody was dancing. But you had mentioned something a little while ago about having somebody stick to your timeline. That's something that I did not even know you had to do until like my DJ was asking me like, where's your timeline? And I was like, excuse me? What is that? And then he sent me an example, and before that my coordinator had asked me for a timeline, and I kind of just gave her some loose times, and she kind of started making one for me, but I wasn't like really firm in anything. So once he showed me the example, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, you need to know like, what time are we walking in? What time are we doing the dollar dance? What time are we cutting the cake? What time, you know, so that way we have a good flow of things. And, you know, the photographer knows where he needs to be. The videographer knows where, like, everybody needs to know where they have to be, or else you're going to be chasing people down.
It's a
like,
mess.
Where's the photographer? We're cutting the cake right now.
Yep. Totally.
So they all need that information. So if you're planning a wedding, you know, make sure that you have that. Make sure that you have that.
Timeline.
I mean, like you were saying, like, it doesn't even have to be a wedding. Like, if you're having, you know, a quinceañera or whatever, like any big event where you feel like you're gonna be frazzled. Like things are just gonna fall into
even
place.
like a huge birthday party, like a 50th or something like that. Yeah, if you have different things that you're gonna do, like a slideshow and like whatever it is, like if you have things in a timely order, your event's gonna go a lot smoother.
Yeah. And it did go really smooth. We had like a couple little hiccups. Like a soft hiccup was none of the champagne was like out in time for the toast.
I know. When I did my toast, I was like, raise your glasses, and I looked around the room and everyone kind of looked like, where's my glass? You know?
So that was like a little like, whatever. Like it happens. And we didn't even have our champagne yet either.
I seen that. I was like, oh my God. I didn't even have a glass in my hand. I didn't even realize that until I read that part of my speech, and I was like, oh wait.
I know. We like fake toasted.
We
and
totally
like
fake
my
toasted.
sister-in-law is like trying to help the coordinator pass out the stuff. But like the thing is, photographer and stuff, they're like, well, let us know if you need help with anything, but they needed to be, right there photographing the moments, yeah, so they weren't able to help her. So it was a lot for one person to have to pass out 150 glasses.
Can you imagine if she wasn't there? I would have had to like pass out all those glasses, run over there and do my speech. Like everything would have been delayed. Like we would have had that timeline.
I would have been passing out glasses too.
But it would have just been like, oh crap, we're like 20 minutes behind because I'm trying to be everywhere, I
wasn't worried about getting behind in anything, we had like a general idea of when we wanted to do stuff, which was good for me. So that was that. And then one of your sister's friends almost got the wedding shut completely down.
Yes.
I guess there was a like loading truck that was out in front of my venue, and they had left the keys on it, and he decided that he was going to open the truck and go inside. And the people who own it saw him do this, and they called the police and tried to get him for breaking into it, but he didn't steal anything, so I guess they had like nothing to charge him on other than I guess kind of trespassing. But they didn't press charges, so they just didn't allow him back into the wedding.
Which sucked. I mean, but it was his bad choice, so he had to live with that and go home from there.
I had no idea any of that was going on.
I'm glad you didn't. That's why, like, as soon as I heard what was happening, I ran outside. Like, this cannot come into this party. This information cannot come into this party at all. Like, so I ran out there, and when I seen that it was him, I was like, oh, all right, well, maybe he had too much to drink and he was just making a bad choice, And I mean, that really was all it was. He was just, being a little dumb, and luckily it didn't cost your whole night.
Luckily it didn't. That was
I would have had to kill him, like literally had to kill him if it did, but it didn't.
Luckily, I know. And this is gonna sound like I'm such a misery loves company person, but I mean, misery does love company. I was like so in my head about like, man, like was my wedding messed up? Like people left and drama happened. So I went on this mom group that I'm on Facebook. It's called Unicorn Moms. And I like made a little post like, all right, ladies, like I want to see your wedding dresses and also tell me wedding horror stories. Dude, people were going off. Like,
really?
They were telling me all this crazy stuff that happens at their wedding. Like a lot of people did have their weddings like
destroyed.
Yeah, like people are fighting at their venue, so they're like, you gotta go, the party's over,
Oh my gosh.
And they broken bones, and there was like a really sad one where one of their guests at the wedding, I think it was the groom's cousin, was really drunk and got all emotional and left and crossed the highway and got hit by a car and killed.
Oh my god.
It was like crazy. And I'm like, dude, like at least like none of that stuff happened, because then it's like every time it's your anniversary, you're thinking about your family member that died, and like you're gonna be reminded like all over
a traumatic night instead of a memorable one. Wow. Well, I'm glad that I can't even believe you were thinking that way.
What?
In any kind of way. You thought it was that bad?
I don't know. I was nervous, and then especially because, like, you know, we had previously talked about other parties that went a little south. So I was like, did my party go south? Was my party boring?
No.
Was I boring? I was trying to talk to everyone, but it's impossible. And I really wanted to make it clear to everybody, like, through the correspondence, like, please come talk to me. Please come over to me. Let's take pictures together. Like, I know it's my wedding, but, like, I'm not concerned with anything else but, like, being with everyone. And, like, nobody really came over to me. Like, I felt like I was just, the only people who really came to me were, like, you and, like, my friends and, like, my mom. Like, none of our family came over to me.
Well, that's their loss.
I know, but I wanted photos with everyone.
I know.
Nobody came over, so I was a little bummed about that. And even, you know, my friend paid for us to have a photo booth, and not even a lot of people took pictures.
Really?
But I know, no,
I
not
think
really.
the problem with that was the photo booth was in a bad location.
Yeah.
I think we should have put it, like, you know, where that
Closer?
table was? We should have put it on the side of that, because everyone kept going over there. And, like...
Then it split up the party because it was so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's before I knew it, I looked up and, like, all the tables were empty, and I'm like, where's everybody at? And yeah, half of them were waiting in line for the photo booth, and it made the party feel empty because they were all up there, you know. And it wasn't very far, but it was, you know, a little ways away from the party.
Yeah, it was kind of, but wait, what are you gonna do? We got a few cute photos.
Yeah.
But when we went up for... Okay, well, let me start with this. I was very, very concerned because my dad is an alcoholic that he was going to ruin my wedding. I was very, very concerned about that. So I, you know, talked to him beforehand. Like, Dad, please don't drink at my wedding. Like, you drank at my baby shower. You know, you ruined that evening. Like, please don't do this again to me.
Right.
And he's like, I'm not going to do that to you. And then he went on this, like, 2-week bender and, like, was drunk and we didn't see him. And I was like, great. I don't even know if I want him to come to the wedding.
Right.
Like, I was really concerned. I didn't really want him to walk me down the aisle anymore. And then my mom was making it a little complicated, like, well, let your brother walk you down the aisle. And I was like, ugh, I'm already, like, torn all together, and now you're, like, making it a little harder for me.
Right.
But I know she wanted, it wasn't her intent. I know she wanted to make it easy, but it was just on a spur of the moment decision. Like, I couldn't decide, like, am I going to let my dad walk me down? And now you gave my brother this promise to walk me down.
Yeah.
So it was really, like, tough. So I ended up splitting, like, halfway I walked with my brother and the other half I walked with my dad.
I think that was perfect, though.
Yeah. But I'd warned Anna, the coordinator, if my dad is acting up, I am not opposed to you calling the police on him. You know, like, I don't want drama here. And if he needs to go, like, get him out of here, because he's ruined so many events, like, countless events.
Right. And I had to talk with your mom as well about it, because I was like, nope, he's not going to do this to you on this night. So, Tisha, if we have to call the cops on him, please don't get upset at me. You know?
But she knows too.
Right.
And I guess also my aunt, his sister, told him the same thing. Like, this is your only daughter. Don't ruin this day for her.
Right.
Like, don't ruin it. So he was, like, on a pretty decent behavior, you know. He had a couple glasses of champagne, but, like, that was it. Like, he didn't cause any drama for me.
I think if the night would have been a little longer, it probably would have, because
I know, we kind of, like, I didn't buy that much champagne, so anything else he would have had to pay for. And, I don't know, a few people, like, I didn't want to have an open bar because I didn't want everybody to be shitty. And a few people, you know, knew that I wasn't having an open bar, so they brought in their own bottles, and that's what kind of, I guess, caused this other incident where we're getting ready to do our grand entrance. We're looking for Ernie's dad, and we find him, and he's, like, already halfway out of his suit, you know, just in a muscle shirt and his, like, slacks, and he's drunk, and it's 6:00. So I guess one of Ernie's friends had brought in a bottle of, like, tequila, and his dad's over there, you know, hanging out with Ernie's friends all of a sudden because they have the alcohol. So he's getting, like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so he's getting hammered, and it was just like, Ernie's like, dude, we were so worried about your dad. And, like, look at my dad. Like, he was already, like, really embarrassed. So
I didn't even realize it, though. I don't know if your guest did. You know, I was in the grand entrance as well. I mean, he was sitting there, I guess, paying attention to it, but because we were both, you know, just kind of hosting and all over,
we didn't realize
realize, like, I thought he just took everything off because he was hot, you know. And yeah, he did. We were waiting on him to get himself together to make our grand entrance.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't like, oh, this guy's... I mean, he wasn't sloppy at that moment.
At that time, yeah. And I didn't really see him much after that. Like, we did the entrance. Like, he didn't even give a speech for his son.
No, he didn't.
Like... His mom didn't give it. I mean, his mom doesn't know him well, so fine. She didn't give a speech, but his aunt, who basically raised him, she did give a speech. His sister had a speech.
She did.
So that was good. A few people had some, and like people who wanted to say stuff but were shy, they kind of sent us messages after, like, "This is what I wanted to say, but I was shy to say it." We talked about it, and there's a lot of things that maybe could have affected why he was so grumpy
in
like
a funk that day.
Yeah, but like that's no reason to ruin your son's wedding.
It's once in a lifetime. Like,
yeah, like, you know, your daughter Lily chose not to have a big wedding like that. You know, she wanted to do something intimate, just, you know, her and her husband, and then Ernie and I went. You know, Ernie was their witness, so it was so small, like nobody went, not the grandparents, no one. And I think he was a little bit upset that he missed that wedding, so we gave him the opportunity to come to this one. You know, we have a big one for the family, and then he ruins it.
I know he didn't ruin it. I mean, I know.
Well, not for me.
He made a scene, and
yeah, so I missed the scene. So maybe you could fill me in on what you saw, because I missed it. And
I'm so happy you did.
I know, and I think like some of my friends saw it going down. They're like, "Oh, Jessica, let's go dance," and they're like, "Put on Selena," and then I was just like Selena-ing it up and having a moment dancing out there, wondering, like, because Ernie's family, like his cousins and I, were like, "Dude, when Selena comes, we're gonna get down. It's gonna be so tight."
You know Selena's my jam, so you should have known something was up, because I wasn't out there.
I know. That's the thing. Like, like 3 songs in, I was like, "Where is everybody?" You know. And one of his cousins comes over and is like, "Hey, we're gonna leave," and I was like, "Wait, why are you guys leaving?" And they're like, "Oh, you know, because of what happened." And I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And then he's like, "Oh, well."
So I glanced up and I seen, you know, your venue was pretty big. You know, it was a big yard, a garden, and there was lots of areas that you could be in.
Yeah.
So where the dance floor was, I was basically standing in front of that, but I was looking towards where the yard games were. And I just seen, I mean, Ernie was the only one in those specific colors. I knew what he was wearing.
Yeah.
And I just seen Ernie and his dad arguing, you know, and his dad was like ripping it, like the rest of his shirt off, I think, and he's just like arguing with Ernie and everybody.
Could you hear what they were saying?
I couldn't, because I was by the music, you know. So as soon as I seen it, I just took off running over there. Like, I just ran, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, you guys, let's take it outside, that's all I kept saying to them, you know. Ernie was just like, "Vanessa," like, and he just like kind of like got in between it. He's like, "My dad's not gonna listen to you, Vanessa," like, and I just started backing up right away. I was like, all right, like, if he's not gonna listen to me, like, forget it, you know.
Yeah.
I just turned around, and everyone that was spectating, I was just like, "Hey, everyone, you know, let's not give him the joy of, you know, giving them any attention. Like, let's turn around, let's go dance, let's have a good time. Come on, you guys, come on." So when I started saying that, everyone did like start turning around and walking away, you know. And I was just like, just take him outside. I was like, where's security? Like, I was just like,
for
looking,
real, like, we're
yeah,
for security.
I was
and he's
like,
let some random people into our party.
Who?
Oh, well, okay. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. Maybe I should edit out his name. When your sister's friend opened up that truck, right, and before he got kicked out, the person whose truck it belongs to, like, barged into the party.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like, and the security didn't even, Anna had to stop him, or else he would have been, like, in the mix, in the party.
Making a scene.
The security, like, what's the point? And, you know, Anna's, like, little, and, like, she had to stop him. Like, what was the point of having security there?
I can't believe that.
He's going to let somebody off of the street walk into the party pissed off.
Wow.
You know? That's crazy.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. And so Anna was pretty upset about that. Like, why the hell didn't he stop him? And then, you know, this is going on with Ernie, and where the hell's the security again?
Yeah. I knew he was at the door, but I was just like, okay, at that moment, I was like, okay, where's Anna? So she could go run and get him and get, you know, Larry out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like in a panic, like, oh my gosh, where is she? I need her to grab like security. But, you know, I just got everyone to just ignore them.
Yeah.
He started walking out on his own anyways.
If my dad would have said that to me, I would not reach out, because he's the one who said the things to me
And made a scene.
But the very next day, Ernie's there trying to call his dad and, you know, texting him to make sure he's all right, because he's like so caring, and like his dad has never done anything like this to him before, so he was not expecting it. You know, I was the one expecting it from my dad, like not him.
We were ready for your dad to do that, and it was completely out of left field when it was Larry.
Yeah. And yeah, it was so crazy. But you know, his aunts, like Ernie's aunts, were all calling him the next day, like making sure he was okay. And but yeah, that was just like, you know,
so he ended up getting in the car and driving himself home like that anyways,
I guess. I mean, I don't know, I know he left, so I'm assuming he drove himself home. He didn't take his daughter that kept her.
Yeah, Carol was out in front when all of this was happening, so she had no idea. And I don't know, I guess she overheard like somebody telling him like, oh, you're drunk or whatever, and Carol had been drinking as well, so she was like, oh, get an Uber, you know. And but Carol had no idea like that he was upset, and he just made the scene, so she was just like and walked away, you know. It was sad. It broke my heart for Ernie, because I was just like, oh my goodness, like it's been such a great day. And
yeah, it was such a great day. Like the little hiccups and stuff, like they didn't bother me, but like that, like, was so horrible. But like I was saying, I was on the dance floor while all this was going on, so I had no idea.
Yes, I'm so glad you didn't.
Yeah, but then once I started realizing that, where the heck is everybody, and then I saw the best man, and I said, hey, where's Ernie? And he's like, oh, he's right here. So he was sitting down right next to where the best man was standing, but Ernie was covered by all the flowers, which was why I couldn't see him. So I went around, like, still not really knowing what had happened, and I went around and I gave him a hug, and he just like broke down, like, you know, like it was hard for me. I had no idea what was happening. Like I was just like, just holding him, like, come on, let's dance. And you know, he got up and wanted to dance with me, but it was just like
his mind was
like he was trying to be happy and in the moment, but I know it was really difficult for him. But I mean, he did the best he could. And then I didn't make the night any easier, because he was ready to go and I didn't know we were leaving so soon. So we left before I knew it was time to leave, and I like to give myself a little time in between drinking before I get in a car, because you know, I'll get really nauseous. And Ernie was like, okay, let's go, and I had just finished a glass of champagne, so by the time we got back to the room, like, my head was spinning. I like just puked all night. So that's the kind of wedding night I had. Aww. Just hugging the toilet. That's all the love I got. No. I know. I like threw myself in the shower, and I was just like, ugh. I was dead.
I'm sure Ernie forgives you for it, because his mind
wasn't in the mood.
Yeah, but his mind was somewhere else.
His mind was somewhere else, but then he had to deal with his like drunk new bride. Like, poor guy. But he wasn't really bothering me, and I'm like more the type of person where I don't need to be babied if I'm vomiting. You know, I'm just like, just leave me alone.
I'm cool. I can handle myself. I got myself into this mess.
I know, but like it was like total like opposite, you know. I was worried about Ernie being drunk and not me. I was like, Ernie, you better not get wasted, because I don't want our wedding night to be like that. And then I was the one that was sick, so it was pretty lame. But you only get one wedding night, but whatever.
You guys have the rest of your lives to bone it out.
Yeah, I guess. But you know, it just sucks that like everything else came together so nicely and so perfectly that, you know, that one thing is kind of like looming over the evening. Yeah. But I mean, I missed it, so I had a really good time. I was singing and dancing, but I wish I got to spend a little bit more time with Ernie, because we got separated a lot. I really like, we had gone to another wedding and the bride and groom spent a lot of time apart, so I was hoping that him and I could be together all evening, but it just didn't work out that way. There's just so many guests and we had to split our time, so you know, what can you do? Yeah, but that's part of being the stars of the night. You guys are requested everywhere, you know? Yeah, but I was just hoping that we'd be like arm in arm the whole day and like going over and thank you guys for coming and catching up a little, but we ended up doing our like thank yous separately, so I was a little bit like disappointed about that, but it was still good. Right. I felt like, you know, yeah, it didn't feel like it was about us. It felt like, well, it's my wedding day. I'm by myself. This is my dress. Everybody look at me, compliment me. Dude, I was being so weird about my dress, I guess, where I was like, I know that people have to compliment me to my face because it's my wedding day. So I only accepted compliments that were like given to a third person. You know, if somebody told you like, I love Jessica's dress, I would accept that compliment. But like, if it was to my face, I was like, you have to tell me that my dress is
I'm
pretty.
the bride.
Yeah, you have to tell me that I look perfect, even if I don't.
But you did.
Yeah.
Stop with your self-doubts here.
I know.
I'm the self-doubter. You're not. Stop it.
I know. It's hard. It's tough. Because I don't know. I just know how people are, so it's like.
Yes, but everybody in that room loved you, so.
Yeah.
We're all there for you and Ernie.
Yeah.
And everything that you're thinking about, I wouldn't even think that you were thinking this if we weren't talking about it right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I didn't even think about the fact that, oh, you guys were a little separated. But to me, I didn't see that. Like, I seen you guys dancing together. I seen you guys having your moments, you know, so.
As long as the picture show us together.
Exactly.
Are we together on the photos? That's all that matters.
Exactly.
I'm so excited to get the video and see all the pictures.
Gosh, me
because
too.
I'm excited to see the really good moments.
The good
so that
parts.
way I could be like, oh yeah, that happened too. And Ernie still tried to have a good time and we danced a little more. We took pictures. I let everybody go home early, like the photographers and Anna. I was like, we're done with the big stuff. Like, just take off. You know? Yeah. I made a list of everything that needed to come home, so she put all that stuff together and was like, here's your stuff, it's on this table, when you guys are ready to leave, you know, take it. So it was, I like read too on the mom thing that post that I put, somebody said in order to get their deposit back they had to clean up the space themselves.
Whoa.
So she's there in her freaking gown, like cleaning up after her own wedding, and I was like, oh hell no, dude. Like,
that would have been the worst.
I didn't clean up
anything. We wouldn't have made you do that though.
I know you wouldn't, but I'm just saying, like, I can't believe this poor girl, like, nobody was there to help her.
Yeah, where were the people that loved you, honey? Sheesh.
Seriously, poor girl.
I know.
There was a lot of horror stories on there.
I want to read them.
Okay, I'll show them to you. I know I should. No, there's like too complicated to find. It was a blown up timeline. People went crazy on it.
Wow.
I know. I wish people would respond to our Moody Mom and stuff like that.
I know.
Where are you guys?
Where are our listeners not giving us any love?
We want to hear from you. I want to hear your stories about your wedding.
Your wedding days.
A lot of people, like, I posted that photo, the one where Ernie has his arm around my waist. Not where I'm, like, putting the bouquet, but the other one.
Uh-huh.
Everybody said that photo reminded them of Beauty and the Beast. And I was like, I did not see it, but like a group of people said that. And I was like, I don't see it, guys, but sure, I'll take it. I'll be Belle any day. The last one that I posted, I think. I didn't post it on Moody Mommies. I think I just posted it on mine that I can't even get to because I ran out of internet on my wedding night. I don't know what happened. I wasn't even on my phone. And in the middle of the night, like while I was puking, I didn't have my phone on me still. In between like half an hour, like all my data ran out. Like,
what?
I don't know what was going on with my phone.
Maybe something was just running the whole day?
Maybe. Or within that hour because it was fine. Like the rest of the time it was really weird.
Wow.
But dude, like, you totally handled everything too. Like, there was not one time where you came over to me and like, what do you want to do? And I was, because you knew I was going to tell you.
I already
don't
knew.
care.
Don't ask her. Do not even ask her.
So,
yeah. It was easy. I'm telling you, I like, when, after the ceremony, you guys started taking pictures and whatnot, and I was just kind of looking around. I knew Anna was taking care of a million things, and I remembered we made like all these little chocolate bags for the kids to pass out.
Did they get passed out?
Honestly, that was the only thing I was just like, all right, I can't find Anna. I didn't know where the baskets were, and I was standing in front of yours and Ernie's table, and I happened to look to the left, and I seen the baskets in that little storage room.
Yeah.
And I just ran over there, filled them all up, handed them out to the kids. And
did they pass them out?
They did.
Oh, good.
So
I saw one of the bigger kids with it, and I know like
Jaden actually he like handled it. He gave them to pretty much everybody because he was like the oldest one, and he was really helpful. He kept coming back and like, I'm out of chocolates. Aww. And I would like refill him, and I was just like, Jaden, the chocolates are right here. Grab them yourself. Like, I gotta go do some stuff. So and he did. He was like, I'm done. He came and brought me back his basket. He was really helpful.
Did the little kids do it too, or not really?
Yeah, they did. A couple of them. There was another little girl. I wasn't sure who she was, but she helped as well. She was kind of older too.
Okay.
But yeah, I gave them to everybody. So that was nice. But that was like the only thing that I was like, oh shoot, I think Anna forgot about the chocolate. So I just like ran and helped her out with that, you know.
We didn't put up my talk about a wedding balloons.
Aww.
I don't even know what happened to it.
Darn it. Yeah, you see guys, you know, there's a lot of little things that you're just like, oh, I want this, I want that. And it's like, save your money, because the day of, it's probably going to get overlooked anyway. So
yeah, no one's going to know that it wasn't there.
Right. And, you know, spending all this money on these fancy smancy centerpieces that are just going to get left behind anyways, or just have your night and your moments.
Well, I know some people have like their dream where they want it to be like the biggest event ever, and like that's totally cool too. If you could afford it and it's not going to hurt your pockets, then do it. But like for me, like I'm poor and like I couldn't do anything like that. And I was just really fortunate that I found a venue that was so beautiful, that needed, you know, minimum stuff.
Yeah.
Like Ernie's aunt took care of the altar, like the flower arrangements.
Yeah, it was really, really pretty.
My grandma did all the centerpieces, so like a lot of people helped out with all that
Our
stuff.
bouquets were beautiful
yeah,
too.
she did our bouquet, his aunt did our bouquets, so all that stuff was, you know, things that didn't have to come out of my pocket, that somebody that we love took care of for us. And it was all like really beautiful stuff and super simple and like exactly how I wanted it. And I still got to wear a big fancy gown, which is most important. And I got that on like a crazy deal too.
I know, your dress was a steal, and you were like, it's too much.
It was,
and
I
was
like,
what?
It was out of my budget.
You better get that dress.
I had to. I know. I like went back for it. And I just kept looking at the photos of me when I tried it on. I was like, I guess that's the one.
Luckily, I snapped that picture.
I know, or else I would have.
You know what's crazy though? When you put that dress on, I knew it was the one.
You did?
I did. I swear on everything. I was like, it's perfect. Like for your garden, everything.
Yeah.
Like I just seen you in that dress, in that. Like I hadn't even seen the venue, but just the fact that I knew it was going to be a garden.
You hadn't seen the venue until rehearsal, huh?
Right. I hadn't. So I was just like, oh, this place is so beautiful, and I just knew like, wow, your dress is going to look perfect here, and it did. It really did.
It's like cool because like nobody had ever been to that place, so it was a surprise for everyone. Like nobody knew what they were going to walk into.
A hidden gem. Yeah, like it really was. You walk in and you just, whoa, you're blown away by this like beautiful little hidden garden that you would never expect that was back there.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It was really nice.
I don't know how much longer it's going to be available, because it seems like the neighbors hate that it's
there. I know. So my parents, when they went to come home to change their shoes, my mom was like, Ness, the neighbors have signs that say loud party next door, call the cops. And I was like, what? Like, where's Anna? Like, I need to go knock on their door and give them a piece of my mind. But I was just like, well, hopefully nobody really even cares about their stupid sign. And luckily they didn't. And my husband was sitting there making besties with the owner of the property the whole night. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And he was saying that they have, those neighbors do that every venue, and I'm just like, how sad. Like, well, I mean, imagine, I'm sure it's really annoying for the owners, but imagine living there, you know what I mean? If you had a neighbor that had a party 3 days a week, like, you would die over and over. You would probably get tired of it too. So
because I'm sure those people pay a lot of money to live in that area,
right?
You know?
And I don't know, maybe they could just do better at like giving them a break, you know what I mean? Like, this venue's only available once a month or something, you know what I mean? So it's not so much to live there. But
it was like crazy too, because a lady, she kept trying to the owner's wife, she's like in charge of, I guess, talking to the customers, the clients. She, every time I would ask her like, oh, how much is this, she would give me like a crazy amount, you know, like they have garden lights, and she's like, oh no, those are not always there, so if you want those, we have to put them up. It's like $1 per light bulbs, and then to pay for them to put it up, like it's $250 just for them to put it up, and then you have to pay this fee for them to take it down. And I was like, I don't need the lights. It's okay. And the lights were there anyways. Like, I knew that they were always up, but she's just trying to like squeeze money out of me. Yeah. And then she said she told Anna that they don't do setups, and if we wanted them to set up, that it would be $300. And they ended up setting up anyway.
Yeah, we were all there, like, ready to set all the tables up. And she's like, oh, no, the gardener is going to come. Don't put anything on the grass.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Yeah, and she was going to charge me an extra $300 for that. And it's just a bunch of little things where she's just like, oh, more. Oh, it's going to be more. Originally, I wanted to add, like, 50 extra seats. And she's like, $500.
Oh,
that's
my
$10
gosh.
a chair. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Because I know... if we got our own rentals, it's like 50 cents. Yeah, and she tried to charge me $10. She ended up charging me only $2. But it was after like a lot of negotiation where I was like, you're insane. I'm not paying $10 a chair.
I can't.
So I was like, I get it that she's trying to make money, that she obviously has to charge me more than 50 cents because they're making her money. So I could live with $2.
Right.
That's fine. But like $10
so
a chair?
A lot.
Hell no. But yeah, it was just silly stuff like that you have to look out for with you know your venues, because they'll try to charge you anywhere and everywhere, and just be ready to say no, and you know that you've said no, so you can't get let down if it's not there. Right. You know, that's what I felt about the lights. Like, I said no. I have a feeling the lights are going to be there anyways, but if they're not, I said no.
Yeah, and it's not going to ruin your party if they're not there.
Right. But everything came together really, really well.
Yeah, it did.
You gave like the sweetest maid of honor speech.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, I was like crying up there the whole time. I cried at the altar too.
Okay, you guys don't even know how stressed out I was about this speech. I was like, oh my God, I gotta read a speech. You know, when you asked me to be your maid of honor, that was like the first thing. I was like, of course, I'm so honored to do it. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta read a speech for her. And then you're like, oh, hey, do you want to read something at the ceremony? And I'm, oh my God, now I gotta find something beautiful to read for her there. So I was like super stressed out, and when I found what I wanted to read to you guys at the ceremony, I thought it was perfect, because I thought it was everything you would want someone to tell you when you're gonna get married. And then like the speech, I was like, maybe like not the week before that, I was just like, oh my God, it's getting closer. Like, I gotta get serious. Like, I gotta get serious. Like, when these girls go to sleep tonight, that's what I'm gonna do. So like 3 days after saying that, I fell asleep with the kids, and I like woke up at like 2 a.m. one night, like, oh my God, I gotta write my speech. And I swear I stayed up until like 5 a.m. writing that speech, because I was so stressed out that I hadn't done it yet, and I was just like, I cannot fail Jessica on this. Like, she wants us to give speeches, and I want mine to be nice. I don't want to just get up there and just like be rambling on, and I wanted it to be short and sweet, and just you know.
My mom read a poem and she cried the whole time.
Oh my God,
hear her. She was all tears. She loved
I was
poems.
like, I love you. You're like, let me guess, it's a poem.
I did straight up say that, huh?
You did.
I saw her pull up her phone, and I was like, I know she did not write anything. But, like, you know, she found something that expressed what she wanted to say.
Yeah, it was really sweet. It was really sweet of her. I was surprised that she was actually brave enough to get the mic and do it, because your mom is pretty shy.
She's really shy. Usually she'll find poems and send one of my cousins to read it for her.
Right. I'm surprised she didn't ask me to read it for her, honestly. I really was. And I was proud of her for making the attempt.
I know. The attempt was there. Oh, and then the other thing that sucked was, like, during the ceremony, like, the microphone was jacked up.
I know.
So like you couldn't even hear the vows or anything, because like Ernie and I didn't have a mic, so you couldn't hear our words at all, and the mic was jacked up, so you couldn't hear what Lily, our officiant, was saying. It was just like cracked up. Like, we could understand her obviously because we were right next to her, but none of the guests heard her.
Really?
At least, like, especially the people in the back.
Oh wow.
So hopefully in the video it's audible.
Hopefully in the video we can hear it.
But we shall see. And my voice was gone, so you could really barely hear me.
Well, I heard you.
I know. Justine, like, didn't even do the flowers.
Oh my goodness, my little Justine. Like, I walked down the aisle with her, and as soon as we got to basically like the end of the road to walk up to Ernie, she planted those feet so hard into that ground, she would not budge.
She was so excited at first. She walked all the way through there.
Everyone in that, you know, the whole everyone. And she was just like frozen, would not take another step. And I'm like, come on, Justine, come on. And I was just, she was like, no, like she, and I was like, oh my God, like please don't flip out on me right now, you know? So I just was like, oh my God. Like, I was asking your dad, like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do? Like, do I make her walk? Like, what? And I tried to get her by her hand again. She was like, nope. She would not. So I was like, oh my God, Jessica, please don't kill me, because she's still standing there when you get here.
No, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, it was a little overwhelming for her.
I would have been very surprised if she made it down the aisle with the flowers. So I was expecting to see her there. I thought she was going to end up with us at the altar, but as soon as we said our I do's and give her a kiss, that was it. I didn't see Justine the rest of the day.
I know. She was gone.
She was gone. She wouldn't stop for anyone. Her dress was ripped in half.
I can't believe that happened to her dress after as much as you paid for it. Like, I paid like nothing for my girls' dresses and they still look brand new. And that dress was a lot. And when I seen it, I was like, what the heck? I mean I'm sure she stepped on it.
She stepped on it, and she's an animal, so I'm sure she was climbing everywhere. And even if she put her knee and tried to climb something, it would have pulled the stitching out. So luckily it was a little summer dress that I brought extra for her, so she wasn't in a fancy dress anymore, but I had to change her. Half her dress was falling off.
Yeah, it was.
I gotta try to resew it when we take our photos.
I'm sure you guys are gonna need some more photos with her, because she was not having it that day.
We didn't get any of us with her. We maybe got like a couple where we're holding her, but she's like trying to get down the whole time. So I know they're not like cute. They have to be crazy. So we'll see.
Yeah. Do-over.
Just photos. Just
photo do-over.
Yeah. Gotta find a good location, because I don't even think I got a good photo on my train.
We didn't take any pictures of all three of the Moody monsters and us. No Moody coverage at all. I honestly don't even think you and I took a picture by ourselves.
We did.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're positive?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I'm positive we did. I have them somewhere. Well, he took them, and then we took the ones in the photo booth.
We took the photo booth. I know for sure.
Yeah, but he took some of us.
Okay, good.
A few, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I wish I took more photos.
I know. That's the only thing. I'm like, I wish we would have took more photos, but I'll remember the day forever, and that's all that matters. And we have the video. We have...
I know. When you do your guys' vow renewal, I'm going to be right there with the... Do this. Get this shot. I'm going to be directing her everywhere. Don't forget this.
Seriously. I know. That's why I was like, make sure they come and take pictures of you while you're getting ready and while you're putting your dress on, and because all those moments, you want to remember those as well. And they're really, really beautiful when they're photographed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they came.
I know.
Yeah, it was a great night. And I hope you had a really good night.
I did. I had a good time. I'm sad I got too drunk to end my evening nicely, but
it's all right.
I don't know. Yeah, we're struggling with whether or not to take Justine on our honeymoon, and everybody says not to, and I think we shouldn't either, but I just feel like 6 days is a long time to be away from her.
Yeah.
And I know she wants to go to Hawaii too, so I'm gonna have to plan another family trip.
We'll all go together.
Where we all go, so that way she's not like the only kid and driving me nuts. We could be like, why don't you guys just go ahead and go to
play on the sand while we get drunk over here.
There's babysitters over there.
For real. Yeah,
we should for sure.
That sounds better.
Yeah, maybe next year sometime.
Don't take her.
Yeah, I know. It's hard because then we don't really get couple time because we're just on mommy and daddy mode. Yeah, I know you're gonna miss her, but when you're there and you have her, you're gonna be living in regret. You know, like, what were we thinking? Like, we can't even go to the bar and have a drink. We can't even sleep in.
Yeah,
we can't even go snorkeling. We can't even
nothing. You can't do any activities. So I would say leave her.
Leave her. I will. I'll figure out what to do with her. But yeah, that was my
the Moody Matrimony, guys. So
my wedding recap, the drama, the nice things. I danced to Angel Baby for my first dance, which is my grandma's favorite song.
Yeah. As soon as it started, those are my mom's exact words.
That's grandma's favorite song?
This is grandma's song. It's grandma's favorite song. She used to play it all the time.
I know.
And I thought that was perfect that you picked that for her.
Me too. Yeah, I cried like a baby, which is I did not know I was gonna cry like that at the altar.
Oh my god! Okay, you were like calm as ever. And then like we get out of my car and we're about to walk down the aisle, and I look at you and you're like on the verge of just freaking melting down on me, about to burst into tears. And I took one look at you and I'm like, Jessica, don't do this to me right now. Like, we cannot walk down this aisle with our makeup all over the way. Yeah.
Please don't look at me.
Don't look at me. That's all you kept telling me. And I was cracking up.
I could not help it. And I was trying to hold it, and like once I got, to Ernie, and then I was just like took a breath, and like all my tears just like fell down.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were crying the whole time because I was standing behind you, of course, but I had no idea.
And Lily was so nervous. She started going through the speech really fast, and I'm like, slow down, we gotta take our time. We don't have a lot of material here. We don't got a lot of material, and we got a lot of time to kill until the food gets here.
But I think it was beautiful. Everything was great. And I love you to death for giving me the honor of doing everything with you. It was so much fun to just be like behind the scenes, everything, to do everything hand in hand with you.
Because your dress was beautiful too.
I loved my dress. So I really loved my dress. And a lot of people were telling me it was really pretty too. The color was amazing. Yeah, so kudos to you for your marigold vibes.
I know. I'm trying to convince Ernie to have everybody that was in the wedding come with us to take our shoot, so that way we could take more photos and like fun photos.
Yeah,
like at least just for like a couple, you know what I mean, like
a few shots.
Just go somewhere local, put on so you have a reason to put on your dress again. We could take some funny stuff.
That'll be
creative fun and not feel like people are staring at us because we're just doing our
being
own thing,
weird. I know, that's the thing. Like when I knew everyone was going to be super excited, and I knew you wanted to take photos with all of your guests, and you don't know how bad I wanted to hog you guys up, to be like, hey, get out of here, like let me take photos with them, for like a good 20 minutes, just me,
just me.
But
my kids,
I knew like, come on, let her have her moment with everyone. So but now I'm like regretting it because I'm like, I wish I would have took photos with you guys, but I know we'll do that.
I know we didn't even take photos in the front, like by the big gate.
Yeah, remember I was like, ooh, the doors. Like there was so many spots to take pictures there, and I feel like we were all in like one spot the whole time.
Yeah, we didn't utilize.
But you and Ernie moved around, which was good.
Yeah.
But it was a great day, no matter what. So, yeah.
Forget about the other stuff.
Yes. Don't think about those things.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, it's
Moody
been
Mommies.
fun.
You could, find us on Google us, Moody Mommies. You can find us everywhere.
Everywhere. We're everywhere.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher.
Just look us up. You'll find us.
I don't even think we said our names at the beginning.
We didn't.
Signing
they
off.
know who we are.
Signing off. This is Jessica.
And this is Vanessa.
What was our Moody? What was our Stay Moody?
Yeah.
Stay Moody.
Stay Moody, guys.
Say Moody Mommies.
Moody Mommies.
Moody Mommies podcast.